Hello friends, this is Rahul Magan here as the Chief Executive Officer of Treasury Consulting PT Limited, and this time we are talking to a topic which is spread sensitive swaps. First of all, I would like to bring in apologies to all of our readers that in the last 2 odd months we not been able to shoot any video. The reason being we were very quite busy, and you know that now we are a Singaporean based company, so there is a lot of expansion plan which is continue in the market. We are coming up with a lot of products in the market, and a lot of products are already there on our fixed income platform. And also our fixed income platform is now under the second phase, which requires a lot of time. So that was one of the reason why I not been able to devote some time. But now I think the fixed income platform is more or less done. The second phase is more or less done, and I think we are in a situation when it's more or less done. I think we are in a situation that now we will be shooting more of videos. And next year, preferably Treasury Consulting is heading towards Australia also, and hopefully the next phase of fixed income platform would be starting in January 2019, when we would be coming up with the world first monetization desk, which is Monit Fund. It would be owned by Treasury Consulting PT Limited, the first monetization desk of the globe. Coming back to this topic, which is spread sensitive swaps, I hope your mind would be telling you that why this topic we are talking about. You open any book in this world, I am challenging you, any book in this world which you have, it's written by an Indian author, it's written by a foreign author, or it's written by any author in this globe, you will not get this topic. The reason being, this is being invented by Treasury Consulting LLP. You know that I am a corporate treasurer from the last 10 odd years, served SCL, EXL, and now I have my own treasury. Now, this is the derivative which we invented, and in this video we are not going to telling you each and out of this treasury, so we are taking an indemnification from that perspective. But we would like to aware you about the fact that there is a derivative instrument which is being invented by Treasury Consulting, which derivative instrument can be used by the people, those who are borrowing basically in a foreign currency. They are borrowing in a foreign currency and they can protect their spreads. We have given the name which is known as spread sensitive swaps, or SSS. Maybe by November maximum, or maybe by next year, we are heading to Singapore for the purpose of getting a patent over that. So we would be submitting this to Monetary Authority of Singapore, which is the regulator, whereby we would request them to kindly patent it, because this is the derivative only held by Treasury Consulting. That's it. How exactly this works? There are millions and millions companies across the globe, those who are taking the floating rate funding, because nowadays the fixed rate funding period has already gone. Gone are the days when the companies used to provide you the fixed rate funding, but now the companies are providing you the floating rate funding. Now the moral of the story is, if the companies are providing you the floating rate funding, then now every floating rate funding, whether I take Apple, I take Accenture, I take Facebook, Cognizant, or any company, it is subject to the spread, which is nothing but QSD, quality spread differential. Here again, for the sake of example, we assume that there is a company whose name is known as ExxonMobil. The bank name is known as the Goldman Sachs. The notional is 10 billion Japanese yen. We assume that ExxonMobil US, basically it's a US based company. US entity is taking a position of Japanese yen. So please be beware of the fact that I'm not here talking about USD to Japanese yen hedging. I know that the functional currency of ExxonMobil, because it's a US entity, is dollar. On the contrary, the funding which they are taking in the Japanese yen. So there is a dollar to Japanese yen hedging issue which is there in this that. But I am not here talking about that. I'm not going to give you any pricing of royalties for that. We are here talking about an issue which generally being not discussed in the books. And in fact, the unfortunate part is that even the bankers are very reluctant talking that issue. Not sure why. Now in this, the tenure of the contract is 10 years. Now it's a big tenure. 10 years is not a small time. It's a big time. Why I took this 10 years? Is it I'm talking about the hedging part of it? No. I'm not here talking about principal only swap, coupon only swap, the sum of both is equals to cross currency swap. No. Why I'm talking is, every day this globe is facing so many issues. Like today, which is 22nd September 2018, in the night when I'm shooting this video, the market tanked by almost 1000 points, and then it recovered also. Now the point is that now because of that, there are a lot of companies which are under liquidity issues, which are not being able to handle their debt. Once you take a floating rate funding, the banks will calculate something which is known as QSD, quality spread differential. This quality spread differential will calculate at that point of time. So example, today is 22nd September, which is actually the date 18 when the ExxonMobil is taking the funding. Now ExxonMobil is taking the funding for 10 years. So if I add 10 years, then I end up, which is 22nd September 2028, or might be 21st September, plus minus 1 day. The moral of the story is not that. The moral of the story is that in the 10 years, ExxonMobil as a business or as a financial entity, the health of the ExxonMobil will go like this cycle. Sometimes ExxonMobil health would be very good, sometimes it might not be very good, and sometimes it would be okay. Reason could be enormous. You have issues with the petroleum, you have issues with the global economy, you have issues with the board, sometimes company himself is an issue, and there are enormous amount of issues. What generally banks do, once they sanction the funds, they will compute something which is QSD, which is quality spread differential, and assuming, this is just an example, assuming the companies like ExxonMobil, we assume that the QSD is 125. Now this may be more, this may be less, it depends when the bank will actually calculate. We just took an example. Now this is 125 pips. It might possible, sometime it will go to 145 and sometimes it will improve to 80. How the banks would be protecting against that? Let's talk from a bank's angle first. When ExxonMobil would be hedging this, of course ExxonMobil would be hedging and we are not covering hedging, bank would be charging something which is known as CVA, which is credit valuation adjustment. So banks will cover their position. Banks know that, boss, the QSD we charged from ExxonMobil is 125 bips, but now ExxonMobil health is not good, oil pricing are rising, their profitability falling, oil pricing falling, their profitability falling, they're not been able to meet their exports, so increase their QSD to 145. They would be charging something which is CVA, credit valuation adjustment, which is a cost in the hands of the cost in the books of the company, paid by the company. But the story will start here. The story is how the ExxonMobil treasury would save themselves. Is it they are going to be the mute spectators, whereby they just see they can't do anything? Or is it they have a derivative instruments in their hands which can be used, or which can be basically used, provided the management of the company is in sync, thereby they can take up the position. Treasury Consulting has invented this, which is known as spread sensitive swap. What ExxonMobil would be doing, of course we are not delving down deep in that, because unless we get patent of that from Singapore, we will not release the entire thing of that. What ExxonMobil would be doing, ExxonMobil will see that, boss, am I going worse? Deterioration is the spread. Any reason? Oil price is falling, capital expenditure is rising at a substantial pace, company is not in a situation to cope up with the revenue, the costs are escalating enormous, there are 10 different issues. Alternatively, spreads are improving, oil pricing going up, company profitability going, company just launched, 1 year ago launched a project in Saudi, assuming ends up very well, profitability is not an issue. If company is expecting that the spreads would go worse, or if they are expecting that spreads would go down, means it would be better, they can take a position of using credit options, whereby if they will go worse, they would be taking call options, if they would be going better, they would be taking put options. Before moving further, and just another 2 odd minutes for this video, if you are thinking that such kind of structure is possible in India, then you are wasting your time, because Reserve Bank of India will never permit such structures in India. This will never happen. Today is 2018. You need to wait till 2050 before getting this approved in India. So this will never happen. At least, and even I doubt that it will happen in 2050 also. If you are thinking that puts and call are the only options in that, then again you are wrong. You have the following options, which is standalone, which I discussed, put and call. You can also take range forwards. You can also take Seagull and call spread, put spread and all. But remember, this is not a currency option you are taking. The meaning of the range forward, the Seagull, the call spread, the put spread, the bear spread, the bull spread and all these, the digital spread is not currency option. So please don't go with the word currency option. This is a credit option. The way we settle a credit option is completely different than way we settle a currency option. And that is the game we need to learn. With this, I would like to thank you very much. And the purpose of shooting this video is to let you know that on a revenue of 10 billion, on a loan of 10 billion Japanese yen, if they can make out just 1% from their spread, like they settled at 125, after 2 years the spread widened to 145, 2 years from 2 years it widened to 80, then due to some issues it will go to 150 and this cycle will continue. If ExxonMobil would be able to make a handsome amount of money using this spread, there is nothing like it. Before winding up this video, I would like to challenge everyone who is watching this video. A banker, a trader, maybe a prop trader, maybe a regulator, except India, because Indian regulators understand nothing. So they are out of the game. Anyone, if you produce any book in this world, any book, who is talking about this structure which is spread sensitive swap, I am here to compensate you, whatever amount you want. But you need to substantiate that book. With this, I would like to thank you very much, and the video is now starting. We are posting a lot of videos and 99% of you know my mobile 9899242978, which is my handheld. My Skype ID is Rahul5327. My email is rahul.magan@treasuryconsulting.in, and my platform is fixedincome.global. Once you go to fixedincome.global, you will get a page called blogs. So there are two options. You can go to the company tab, you will get blogs, or what you can do, you can go down on the home page, you will get blogs. We are adding a lot of blogs now. In this blog, you will get a small documentation about how spread sensitive swaps works. With this, I thank you very much and see you in more videos. Thank you. Have a wonderful time ahead. This is Treasury Consulting. Thank you.